All right. Welcome to the show, guys. It is Wednesday, 9:10 p.m. Central Time here in San Antonio. And this is the experience. You already know who I am. I am Drew. McYari, Yari, Yarsifer. Whatever you choose to call me is up to you. And with me, as always, is the man himself.
Justin from Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com.
All right. So we got a nice little show going tonight. RJ the Brook. Actually, let me try and fix something real quick because my camera doesn't look right. Let me try and see if it's the camera that I have already. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, never mind. But yeah, tonight, RJ the Brooklyn Savage should be joining us, more than likely running late. Just on the docket tonight of things to talk about. TNA Slammiversary happened on Saturday, this past Saturday. So we'll dive into that. Actually, let me get my notes real quick. All right, got my notes that I took, and then of course reviewing shows like Raw and NXT. If it's all the same to you, we can maybe skip SmackDown. It
That's
was
up to you. Yeah, I'll let you make that call.
yeah, SmackDown was again SmackDown's usually not a bad show, but it for the most part it was mainly just a setup show for I'm sorry, SummerSlam. And then of course news. We do have news like we usually do. And that's really about it. So let's start. Let's start with TNA Slammiversary, which was this past Saturday, and I believe Montreal. Um, not I forget what the venue they were at, but they actually sold out 4,000 tickets, which for a TNA show that's good. That's very impressive. So good for
Absolutely.
TNA. You did watch the show, right?
I caught. I started watching after. What was the fucking match? I think it was like the third match. I want to say. Let me bring up the card real quick. I should have had that up. Sorry, I'm not prepared. So sorry about that.
Oh, you're muted.
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
Hold on. I'm trying to find it here.
You get
Sorry, guys. Should have been more prepared. I have like 20 tabs open because I have the other stuff open. But I start watching after. The Mike Santana match. That's when I started watching.
Okay, so that was the third match. All right, so so you missed the first two matches.
Yes, because it was the third match on the card.
Okay. All right, so I got you covered. So TNA Slammiversary. So let's start with there were some pre-show matches. The only one I really caught was Alexander Hammerstone versus what the fuck's his name?
Eric Young.
Eric Young. There you go. Um, Eric Young won by a roll up, which again, why is Eric Young pitting Alexander Hammerstone? Granted, it was a roll up, but still, why is Hammerstone losing Eric Young?
A bigger storyline for that.
Probably, but all right. So the first match of the night was Broken Matt Hardy versus JDC, the formerly known Fandango from WWE. This is an okay match. It was a wrestling match. Really wasn't anything special about it. Um,
I saw it went less than 5 minutes. So
yeah, it was less than 5 minutes. Matt opens the show or not the show, but the match by attacking JDC before the bell rings. Just pretty basic back and forth action with Matt Hardy winning with a twist of fate off of the turnbuckle. Again, decent match. Really nothing to remember. Seems like a basic TV match. But yeah, that happened. Next was for the TNA Tag Team Championships. You had Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers versus ABC. Chris Bay and the System. I'm sorry, versus ABC, Chris Bay, and Ace Austin. Is that his name?
Yes.
Okay. This is a fun match. Chris Bay is somebody that I've seen his name for a while, and I'm always like, why hasn't this guy been signed anywhere? Like he just has like
Not with
he's
TNA. That's
what
why.
you know what I mean. But like why hasn't anyone, or even if his contract does come up, why doesn't he go anywhere else? But he is very talented. Um he's someone that's very under the radar. I'm surprised doesn't get as much, attention as he probably should. Um Again, Eddie Edwards and Brad Myers. Eddie Edwards has been around for a while. Like he's been around since like we were in high school, even probably before that. Brian Myers, I think, is a nice guy. Um, that's I'm just gonna keep it at that. A trained MJF, so I'll give him that. But this match was good. The vets did their job by putting over the team that more than likely, well, not more than likely, but should have won the match, and they did win the match. Yeah, ABC are the new TNA Tag Team Champions. Third match, which was, I believe, when you said that's when you started watching.
Started watching
Yeah,
towards the end of the match. I saw like the last 3 minutes of it.
Mike Santana versus Jake something. I still kind of think it's funny that a guy who's 6'2", 262 pounds and jacked is named Jake something. I don't know, but I like Mike. I like Santana. I think he's talented. I don't know. This is where I started kind of zone out. I didn't really care about this match. Didn't think it was terrible. I just didn't think it was needed on the show, in my opinion. But again, it's TNA, so I've been watching the shows, so I don't know if this is a storyline. But Santana won as he should have. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Last 3 minutes I saw him was pretty damn good. Jake something, no pun intended, is going to be something down the road for sure. He's getting to that point where if he really wants to make some big time money, AEW WWE now's the time because he's like in his mid-30s. But anyway, Santana, trying to resurrect his career back in TNA. It seems like he's going to be a main event player in 2025. So we'll see how that comes along. But yeah, the right person won.
Next is you had a 6-man tag match. You had the Rascals versus the No Quarter Catch Crew, which was described as an interpromotional match. What did I say? Okay. Again, this is a fun match. There was no way this couldn't have been a fun match. It's good to see the Rascals back together in TNA or TNA NXT, however you choose to look at it. No Quarter Catch Crew. I like Charlie Dempsey. The guy can obviously wrestle. He has daddy's talent. The other two are, again, it's NXT. It's developmental. So I think Miles Bourne has something to him. Who's the other guy in No Quarter Catch Crew?
Evian Heights.
Tavion Heights. There you go. Former Olympic athlete. So they all have talent there, but Charlie Dempsey is, for a lack of a better term, the star of the group. But yeah, this is good back and forth action. As you expected, people love the Rascals. They love seeing them together. They came out dressed as Buzz Lightyear, so cool. There was a point in the match where who was it? It was somebody missed a cue, and I forget who it was, but nonetheless, fuck, I just said his name. Not
Evian
Tavion Heights, not Tavion Heights, the other guy, not Charlie Dempsey.
Miles Bourne.
Miles Bourne, there you go. Miles Bourne missed a cue. There's a point where he's running in the ring and he has to attack somebody, and he's doing this. And granted, he's legit deaf, so I'm not gonna attack him for that. So again, it's easy to miss a cue when you literally can't hear. But so yeah. But the Rascals won, as they should have. This was one of my favorite matches of the night. What did you think about the match?
Very good match. It was kind of surreal seeing Wesley versus like Charlie Dempsey and like Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights in the ring against each other. So it was like NXT versus NXT on TNA pay-per-view. So that was kind of surreal. But I mean, the Rascals, I mean, obviously they didn't miss a beat. This is what they were doing 4 years ago in TNA or Impact at the time. So they're not missing a beat. They're quickly becoming a very popular act on NXT as well. So this working relationship partnership with WWE and TNA has so far so good. It seems like a lot of people are benefiting off of it so far. And I can't wait to see where else it goes from here. I think we should still see some more bigger guys from NXT to go over to TNA, but I think they're making the steps in the right direction because right now Wesley is the biggest star to go over to TNA. But does it really count because he was TNA before? But regardless, though, we can get what we could get. But um, at this point, though, yeah, I mean, the Rascals are super over right now, both in TNA and NXT. Dempsey's fantastic. He's getting better day by day. Miles Bourne's getting day by day. So is Tavion Heights. So I thought this was a fun match.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I'm like you. I want to see some bigger names go to TNA and work some of the house shows, work some of the pay-per-views. I mean, there's been talk of AJ making some appearances in TNA. I think that'd be big. Maybe even have Trick Williams show up in TNA for a little bit. So I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. I like you. I want to see maybe some bigger names from WWE side go to TNA and give them that rub. Um, Next is you had AJ Francis versus PCO for the digital media and international titles. PCO coming out making his Frankenstein entrance. This is surprisingly a very entertaining match. Um, PCO has been wrestling for 30 plus years. This is his first ever televised wrestling match in Montreal. So that's pretty big for him. And the Montreal crowd was hot for him. And I think that's what got me into the match was that the fans were loving it. So I was thoroughly entertained by this match. It was essentially a car crash match. Like there were a lot of spots, there was a lot of interferences. Rhino came out. There's a pretty gnarly spot with PCO on that steel chair. I don't know if you saw that. Like that was.
Yep.
Oof. Like how old is PCO? He's like
He's
40, 50,
I think he's like 56, 57, something like that.
and taking fucking bumps like that. Jesus Christ. But this was fun to watch. Francis, I think he's good in this role. He's not someone that's gonna have a 5-star match, but then again, not everybody needs to have a 5-star match. You just need to have certain wrestlers that are good in certain roles, and he's good in this kind of role. Just getting that kind of heel heat because he's naturally kind of an unlikable person. So the fact that he was able to get that heel heat in Montreal, it worked. So PCO won. So he's the new international and digital media champion. After which you had Stephanie DeLander come out and propose to PCO. So PCO and Stephanie DeLander are now engaged. So good for them. I'm happy for them. But what'd you think about the match?
That was a very fun match. PCO's been great for years. He's been a journeyman, obviously, from WWF to WCW to ECW, TNA. Like, so, journeyman. I'm more happy I got to see him live a couple years ago, locally here. So, um, very, very, very fond of PCO, and on his career. I'm not like a huge fan of him, but I'm fond of where his career was to where it is now. So, AJ Francis, top dollar. I mean, his stock has risen in TNA as a heel. Not saying he's going back to WWE or anything, but his stock has risen in pro wrestling. A lot of people thought he was going to be out of pro wrestling, period, because of his last stint in WWE. Shows the fact that he still wants to be in pro wrestling and he's doing a great job rather, in this role. Do I see him as TNA World Champion? No, I don't. But however, this digital media championship, this reign, everything that he was doing with this reign, and being a heel with his logo with Rich Swann, I thought was really good stuff. Um, PCO winning was the right move. They were in Montreal. Very fun match. Yeah, it was a good little car crash.
Right. Feel good moment of the night so far. Probably the night in general. Next is you had the TNA Knockouts Championship, Jordan Grace versus Ash by Elegance, formerly known Dana Brooke. Um, Surprisingly a good match, and that's because of one person in the match that we kind of don't know who that is. And again, I haven't been watching TNA thoroughly. Maybe I should from now on, but um, I put in my notes and also on a tweet. I couldn't tell if Dana has gotten better or if Jordan has been or if Jordan was just carrying this match.
But I think it's a little bit of both. I think Ash got better for sure. Not like super great, but like even when I said this when she was in NXT, I think her facial expressions and her selling gotten a lot better when she went to the main roster. Her in ring was slightly better, not much. And in this match here, I thought I think this was probably gonna be one of her best known matches, and that's not saying a lot. But she went out there. She had a competent match. She didn't fuck up. She didn't botch. Jordan Grace is fucking amazing, right? She's phenomenal. Um, Ash, she came in this match, looked good in the match here itself. So I have no complaints about this match whatsoever. And it's not gonna be a match we're gonna remember by the end of the year, but for the moment, for the week, I thought she had a very, very serviceable match. I thought both ladies did great here.
I mean, it's obviously the best match Dana's had. And granted, you're in the ring with Jordan Grace, who a year ago I was not a Jordan Grace fan. Now I'm a Jordan Grace fan, and a lot of that is kind of again apples and oranges. Like it's like with Cody when he was in AEW, just not having somebody to keep an eye on him, especially on social media. Then goes to WWE and realizes maybe I should just do my job and stay off of social media. That's kind of what Jordan is doing right now. Because for a while Jordan was kind of doing that. She was probably a little worse than Cody, but now she's realized maybe I should just do my job and stay off of social
Well, I
media.
mean, she's still on social media. She's
Well,
always posting stuff.
no, you get what I mean. Like, like not trying to draw attention to yourself, and was it glamour searching yourself? So or vanity searching yourself. I'm sorry on social media, but you said you met her and you said she was a sweetheart, and lately she's been kind of like not doing the Jordan Grace isms from a few years ago, and she's gotten so much better in the ring. And
Well,
she
I
can
mean,
have a good
she's
match with
always been
anybody.
this good. She's just finally getting that recognition. Finally,
Right. I mean, yeah, she's like people want to say
nothing's
she's
changed from her from last year to this year. She just has a bigger spotlight on her. She's always been fucking great.
right. All right, okay. But yeah, I mean, she can have a good match with anybody. She had a good match with Roxanne. I mean, she's been having good matches from the ones I've seen, and she pulled out a good match from Dana. So Jordan is, I'm a Jordan fan. What can I say? I'm always willing to admit when I'm wrong, especially when somebody can just go out there and and show me what they can do, plain and simple. But this is a good match. Um, what happened after this? Next match of the night, in my opinion. TNA X Division title match: Mustafa Ali versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey, I've heard the name a lot. I'll be honest, didn't really see him wrestle too much. Haven't
Well, yeah,
seen
I
too
brought
much.
up the name many, many times on this show. And stated that I think he's very underrated. Stated
Yeah,
that
like
about a year and a half ago, and man, he's fucking amazing.
unfortunately, never had access to really watch him. Now, I do. Um, I'll say this: the guy has a very '80s look to him. Like he looks like a wrestler from the '80s, and obviously that's by design. And he's a hometown kid. And Jesus Christ, the guy is like he lives up to the name. He is a speedball. Like the guy, again, I'm not big on spots or flippy guys, but this guy I'll make an exception. He's really goddamn good. Like he reminds me of, 90s, cruiserweights from WCW. Like he is just that entertaining and that good to watch. He's a stomping clap babyface. There's not too many people like that in wrestling. We need more like that. He had his wife there, so there was all that ambiance to the match that made it feel special. Mustafa Ali, I've always liked Mustafa Ali. I think he's good in this role, playing this sniveling dick and just pissing everybody off and bringing out his own like security team. There was a point in the match where there was a ref bump, and I'm like, okay, where's this going? And Mustafa Ali brings out Earl Hebner, which I'm like,
Earl Hebner
okay,
in
okay,
Montreal.
in Montreal of all places. And then he's apparently he's paying Earl Hebner, do the right thing, do what I'm paying you for. And then Mustafa puts Bailey in the sharpshooter. Earl's about to ring the bell. And he's like, I don't know if I shouldn't I? And Mustafa gets in his face like, what am I paying you for? Do what I tell you. And then Mike Bailey puts Mustafa in the sharpshooter, and Mustafa taps out. So now Mike Bailey's the new TNA X Division champion. This is a fantastic match. I almost gave it an A. Had to maybe cut down some points because of just a lot of gaga that kind of took me out of the match a little bit. But this is a fantastic match. I loved it. I actually want to go back and watch it again. And now I'm a Mike Bailey fan. I'm a Speedball Mike Bailey fan. But what'd you think about the match?
That was fantastic, as you mentioned. It's not a 5-star, but it's close. It's 4.5 for me. I thought it was an excellent match. Great story told, and it's a big deal that Mustafa Ali lost, because if you haven't been watching TNA or paying attention to the Indies, he's been undefeated since he's joined the Indies. He hasn't lost a match. Has not lost one match whatsoever, and he won. He's been like a belt collector pretty much. So huge deal that Mustafa Ali lost here. But it was pretty evident that he was going to lose due to Speedball, being Speedball's hometown, and Speedball Mike Bailey, he's a guy that can carry the X division too as well. So, to me, however, just gonna throw it out there, I really love Speedball Mike Bailey, his in-ring stuff. I just personally think that if he needs to develop more of a character to really send him up to that next level. But as of right now, he's still I won't say he's young. He's like 33, 34 years old, but like he still has time to change it around and kind of really find his groove. But as far as like an in-ring talent, he's incredible.
Yeah, like because there's a lot of points in this match where I'm like, oh, like I haven't really had that kind of reaction to a match like this in a while with like two cruiserweights essentially, and I was entertained. It gave me that feels of like a early to mid 2000s Ring of Honor match, and I mean that in a positive way as a compliment. But yeah, Mike Bailey, to your credit, does need to develop a character, whatever that is. He needs to find it because like you said, it could set him apart from everybody else. Like Mustafa Ali has a character, you know. So he's like
Doesn't have to be over the top, but just something a little bit more.
That makes sense for him.
Yeah, it makes sense for him. Yeah, pretty much. Give him a little bit more of an identity.
Right. But that was that match. Now we're on to the main event, actually. 6-way match for the TNA Championship, World Championship. The champion Moose, Joe Hendry, Nick Nemeth, Josh Alexander, Kazarian, and Steve Macklin. Again, it was a 6-way match, so it went either way. It was either a little choppy at points. The pacing was a little off at points. There was a point where I guess like 5 to 8 minutes where they were like resting on top of the stage, which kind of slowed the match down for me. And I don't know if that was by design, but it kind of took me out. I was kind of like dozing off during that point of the match. But Steve Macklin was the first to get eliminated by Moose. I put in my notes, this match feels long. That's when that shit happened on top of the stage. Of course, Joe Hendry got the biggest pop of the night, as he should. He's, for a lack of a better term, the most over guy in TNA. Granted, I mean, there can also be a case he's maybe the most over guy in NXT.
One of the most over guys in wrestling right now. I got little kids coming to my shop singing the Joe Hendry song, and like I know for sure they ain't watching TNA. You know what I mean? So the fact that he's getting this over this soon with the mainstream crowd is a telling sign.
Like there was a football player for the Saints that was in training camp, and he just like started doing the say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, Jamal Williams. Didn't know he was wrestling fan. He was like a big anime nerd. I didn't know he was a wrestling fan, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's no, those. I mean, I'm always surprised on who's a wrestling fan nowadays. My wife, she doesn't watch NXT as much as I do. Never, she doesn't watch it at all. And she was on TikTok, and now Joe Hendry's become a meme. And she's like, "Who is this guy? I keep seeing him on TikTok a lot." I'm like, I had to explain it to her, and she's like, "Okay." Like, she couldn't understand the way we do, but it's just that's the WWE machine right there. Yeah. Joe Hendry eliminated Moose, the champion. So we're now guaranteed a brand new world champion for the TNA World Championship. Let's see what happened over that. Josh Alexander eliminates Joe Hendry by kicking him in the balls and then pinning him, to which the Montreal crowd, yelled bullshit, which again, maybe there's a reason, but it's just like, I don't know. He's the most over guy in the company. Like, you probably should put the belt on him. I don't know, because
Everyone's talking about this, and I disagree. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why, but I'll let you finish.
like, again, maybe there's a reason for this, and maybe I'm just thinking, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but it's just like, he's the most over guy in the company, and maybe you're gonna say something that makes more sense than what I'm probably gonna say, but it's like, I would think if you got someone who's like white hot right now, you should maybe capitalize on it. But then again, maybe you don't want to give them too much too soon.
Right.
So I don't know, but continue.
There's a little bit of that too much too soon, right? But here's the biggest thing: they turned Josh Alexander heel, right,
Yeah.
in this match to take out Joe Hendry. They need to establish Joe Hendry as a main eventer. He's not in the main event right now for TNA. He's the
Right.
most over guy, but he's not in the main event scene. So having him get screwed over by Josh Alexander for him to go into a feud with him, for him to beat Josh Alexander, that will establish him as a new new top guys within TNA. That's number one. And number two, and more importantly, are you gonna watch TNA if Joe Hendry wins the title? I'm not asking just you. I'm asking in general. Are the fans gonna watch? No, they're
Right.
not. It's fake outrage. It's fake outrage.
Yeah.
We're not gonna. You're not gonna say, Joe Hendry run. Now I'm gonna watch TNA. No, you're gonna watch Joe Hendry on NXT. That's when you're gonna watch Joe Hendry. You don't really care what's going on in TNA. You can keep up with it, but you're not gonna it's time to watch TNA. It's Thursday now. I'm gonna watch the. No, that wasn't gonna happen. So I'm tired of the fake outrage on social media, to say the least. I'm tired of the fake outrage. So with that being said, we don't know what's best for TNA. TNA knows what's best for TNA as of right now. We're not backstage. We don't know what's going on. I think this is deliberate. I think they are going to build Joe Hendry up to the title. But as of right now, he's not the champion. Okay, so fucking be it. What's more important right now? Him having the title, or him being on fucking NXT, having a concert next week for the Great American Bash. I think that's more important than him actually winning the TNA World Title. Joe Hendry's fine. He's gonna be fine. And here's another thing too as well. Joe Hendry's contract is supposed to be ending at the end of this year. We got less than 5 months left. Do you want them to put the title on him for him to lose? In a semi quick fashion. Maybe some people think 5 months is kind of quick. Maybe not. Right. Only for him to go to WWE, which is a possibility, right? You gotta think about the long term of what TNA is doing. I think they made the right decision putting the title on Nick Nemeth. Just because that, again, he's not a guy that I always love Ziggler, right? But again, him winning is not gonna draw ratings or anything like that. But what I do think is that he's gonna be a more recognizable face for the brand, for people who may or may be getting back into wrestling. They get on Twitter and they're like, "Oh wow, okay, well what's going on TNA? I haven't seen TNA in 10 years. Oh my God, Ziggler's over there. He's the champion. Okay, I may watch." Again, I don't think he's gonna increase the ratings to a huge point, but I think that they made the right decision with Nick Nemeth winning. Have Joe Hendry feud against Josh Alexander for a couple months and have him beat Josh Alexander, then move Joe Hendry into the top of the main event scene and maybe have him win the title. If he stays with the company, rocket ship his ass right, make him your number one guy, and go from there. If if he's not gonna end up re-signing with TNA, I think TNA is making the best decision for them long term on not putting the title on him because he's gonna be going to WWE anyway, where he's just probably gonna be on NXT or maybe on the main roster. So that's my rant.
Well said. Well put. Like you said, Nick Nemeth is the new TNA champion. Let's see, who do you eliminate? He eliminated Josh Alexander, and then Kazarian came in. For a second, it looked like Kazarian was going to win it, but I was like, they're not that dumb, which they're not. But Nick Nemeth won. He's the new TNA champion. Good. I've always liked Ziggler. Nick Nemeth, however you want to say his name. His brother Ryan came into the ring to celebrate. So congratulations to the new TNA champion, Nick Nemeth. Again, the match was good. I think it got a little better towards the end because there's definitely like a lull in the middle, like in like the 5 to 7 minutes in the middle of the match when they were on stage. But then once you started to see more eliminations, that's when it got hotter. That's when the crowd started getting into it more. So, but yeah, Nick Nemeth, the new champion. Um, yeah, overall, Slammiversary was a pretty solid show. Like I mentioned earlier, they had a sold out building of 4,000 in the venue they were at. I'm not sure where it was, but good for TNA. It's good TNA numbers. Overall, I gave the show a C plus. I thought Speedball Mike Bailey and Mustafa Ali was my match of the night. Uh, Least favorite, I would say Santana and Jake something. It just wasn't a bad match. It was a match to me. Like to me, it was like, why was this needed on the show, in my opinion? But overall, what was your overall grade, for the whole show?
7 out of 10. That was solid for what it
What was
was.
your favorite match, least favorite match?
Mike Bailey, Mustafa Ali, best match, and least favorite match. I don't know. Not because I think his match was bad. No, I mean, none of the matches I saw were bad, but I'll just go with Jordan Grace and Ash by Elegance. Again, it wasn't a bad match, though. So that's kind of like slim pickings.
Fair enough. But that was TNA Slammiversary. All right, let's move on to Monday Night Raw. I have my notes right here. Gunther opens the show there in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Gunther comes out to heel heat, which, fuck yeah, that's what you want to hear from Gunther. I don't like cool heels. I want Gunther to be a hateable heel. I don't want to be a cool heel. So he comes out and with was it a matching polo with or not even a polo, just a matching black t-shirt with matching black pants, and comes out to you suck chance, which cool. And he says, I meant every word I said. Damian Priest, like everyone here, is a bum. And, Damian Priest is a pretender and a wannabe. And then he said something in, German, which translated to show me who your friends are, and I'll show you who you are. And then calls Judgment Day street trash. Damian Priest proceeds to come out. Looks like he's going to say something, throws the mic away, and just punches Gunther right in the face. And they have a brawl to open the show. And I thought that was fantastic. I thought this is making the match mean something. Kind of like last week's promo. Now you have a brawl because Gunther is being a fucking dick heel. And Damian Priest, again, officially a babyface since last week. And just, starts fighting Gunther, and they have to do a pull apart. You get to the back, and Jackie Redmond's, right in front of Gunther, trying to get a word with him. And then Damian Priest, comes out of nowhere and just starts punching Gunther some more. And so, like, more agents and refs and Adam Pearce has to pull him apart. So I thought that was fantastic. Nice way to open the show in front of a hot Green Bay crowd. What'd you think about it?
Very good. Damien has been looking better over the last few weeks. With his intensity during his tiring, which is good. Brawl, nice brawl. Everyone loves a good brawl, right? That was hot. That was a little hot little opener for the show.
Next is you had a number one contenders match for the Intercontinental title. You had Braun Breaker versus Ilya Dragunov. Again, another great match between these two on free TV. The match kind of went the way you expected it to, and that's a good thing. What do you call it? There was a point in the match where Braun drops Ilya on top of the ring pole, like he full on takes him up and just drops his body on. And that was gnarly to watch. Like Ilya really does have a high tolerance for pain. It's painful to watch sometimes. And then when they came back, more solid back and forth action, violence, so to speak. There, in the last 3 minutes of the match, there was a point where Ilya does a Death Valley driver to Braun on the what is it, the apron, and that looked like it hurt. Looked like it hurt Braun. And Ilya's going for the what do you call what's his finisher called?
For who?
Ilya when he does like the punch thing.
No, are you talking about the torpedo Moscow?
There you go. Looks like he's going for a torpedo Moscow. Thank you, Maurice. Braun spears him, and Ilya hits his head on the back of the what you call it, the apron. And that thing's made of steel, or I guess has steel in it. Not sure if that was by design or that they were told to do that, or maybe again Ilya has a high, tolerance for pain. But Ilya was knocked out. Couldn't answer the ref's call, and Braun won the match by knockout, which makes sense for Braun, but again, wasn't by design. But yeah, again, haven't heard anything about Ilya getting a concussion, so more than likely it was by design, that finish. To make Braun look even more like a beast, like a dog, as Pat McAfee would say. But now Braun is the number one contender for the Intercontinental title for Sami Zayn at SummerSlam. Thoughts on the match?
I mean, you put any of these three, any of this combination of these three in the ring together, it's gonna be magic. So, I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say.
Well, no, I was taking a sip of water. But yeah, well said. For the rest of the night, Judgment Day, to their usual shenanigans with Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Rhea tells Dom not to worry about Jey Uso. Finn tells him to finish him. Rhea doesn't want to start a war with Jey Uso. So you're already seeing the mutiny in Judgment Day. Next is you have Lyra Valkyria versus Sonya Deville. This was a pretty decent match. Lyra's always been great. Me and Justin both love Lyra. Sonya I've always liked. I've always thought Sonya was pretty underrated in the ring. And so far I'm kind of liking the group with her and Shayna and Zoe. I don't know, I like it personally. I don't know how you feel about it, but I I thought this match was pretty decent for what it was. Sonya getting the win, which makes sense because it looks like they kind of want to not bury, Lyra, but they obviously want to get Sonya and her team over. And to get them over, they need to get some wins. So Sonya got a nice win, and she got it by distraction, because Lyra was distracted. But yeah, Sonya got the win, so good for her. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
I mean, yeah, they gotta get this new group over. I'm fine with the group. Lyra's fine. She's gonna be fine. So, like, when people are complaining on Twitter, guys, not everyone can fucking win. Like, there has to be a winner and a loser. That's how pro wrestling works. That's how sports works, guys. Your team doesn't win all the fucking time. So sometimes your team does lose, and sometimes your team loses a lot. So it's gonna be fine. She just got to the main roster. She's gonna be a multiple time champion down the road. It's gonna be okay. So
More White Six stuff. They explained Nikki Cross. This one was rather quick. I think it was like less than a minute. Yeah, there's really nothing to explain about it. They just basically kind of do the same thing they did last week, where they've been lying to you and blah blah. So
I like how Nikki Cross looks more like the original Sandy Nikki Cross. So I like my Nikki Cross. How she looks in Sandy. I want my Nikki Cross to look like she stinks. Right. That's my Nikki Cross. And I think
you
they're
don't.
getting back to it.
I want my Nikki Cross to not shower or put on any deodorant. Exactly. CM Punk comes out. CM Punk comes out, announces that he's been cleared over the weekend. Says the bay is green, my shoes are pink, and I think I should stain them with the blood of a psychopath. Drew comes out, backs off a little bit, says he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to fight Punk. Punk says, well, I do. Goes after Drew, but gets pulled apart, separated by security. Drew tells him, calm down. In moments like these, I usually like to turn to family, and pulls out the bracelet that he stole from Punk last month, I believe. Adam Pearce comes out, announces that Drew is reinstated, makes their SummerSlam match official, but says there is no physicality before the match. If there is, the match is off. And also announces a special guest referee, who ends up being Seth Rollins. And then Seth Rollins comes out and does his whole bit. I'm a revolutionary, I'm a visionary, blah blah blah. Next week, they're going to have I guess, a face to face with Seth Rollins, kind of playing the mediator, setting up
Yep.
their match. But overall, what'd you think about this segment?
Well, it was very good for. I mean, you got the setup that we want. Finally, CM Punk's clear. Drew McIntyre's, reinstated. And now we know what Seth Rollins is doing. Now the question is the story going into this is that is Seth Rollins going to be fair? Is he going to screw someone in the match? We don't know, right? This has the makings of being SummerSlam 1997 all over again. Brett versus Taker with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee.
I was gonna
So,
fucking say that. I was thinking that.
so it has the makings of that. So yeah, I dig it. I dig it. And also number one thing too, also as well, is what is Seth Rollins going to be wearing to this match? I'm pretty sure he's going to be wearing some of the most zestiest stuff that a man has ever seen. So I can't wait to see that.
He's gonna be wearing Christian's was it see-through mesh shirt from the early 2000s?
Yeah,
Or
I saw that like 87,000 times on Twitter. People
or
saying that.
comes
Yeah.
out just like Shawn Michaels from the 97.
And I saw that 97,000 times on Twitter.
Ugh,
Either or.
it's gonna be zesty, like you said. All right, moving on. You had Xavier Woods and Tozawa and Otis versus the Final Testament. I put in my notes, Cross needs to do something about his hair, whatever that is. Whether
You don't like his hair?
I don't like how it is now. I'm not saying go bald again, which I wouldn't mind, but just I don't know, cut it because it's just distracting.
I mean, it's in that awkward phase. People have that awkward phase when they're growing their hair out.
I don't know. I just think he needs to do something about it. That's
That
me.
doesn't bother me.
Final Testament gets the win, which they should. Again, you want to get this group over. Chad Gable and the Creeds come out. Tells Otis to come back. He wants him back. He's his most prized pupil. Otis says no. And then the Creeds beat him down. Then you have the Wyatts come out, and the Creeds are at ringside with steel chairs, yelling. Which is funny because like they muted the crowd chanting "You fucked up," but and again I know it's like two different words and it's like how you say it, but they muted the crowd saying "You fucked up," but you can hear one of the Creeds going, "Come here, you sons of bitches." So I don't know if it's phrasing or I don't fucking know. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Afterwards, Uncle Howdy comes into the ring, finally doing something, and gives Chad Gable's sister Abigail, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, the Wide Six thing is getting over. They're getting reactions. But again, I want to see them wrestle. I want to see them have a match. I'm assuming it's at SummerSlam from the way things kind of look at the moment. But overall, what do you think about the segment?
I'm completely fine with the White Six on how they're doing it right now. I have no issues with it. I think slow and steady wins the race. Rushing it for no reason. Like if they have a match right now, what what good does that do? We all know how they wrestle already. It's not like it's gonna be different or anything like that. But I get your point. But yeah, just we'll let it play out at SummerSlam. I'm assuming that they will have a SummerSlam match of some sort.
Yeah. Next, you had Bronson Reed versus Pete Dunne, which didn't happen due to Sheamus coming out and taking out both guys. And then you had Rhea Ripley. Let's kind of backtrack with that. So the Judgment Day decides to go out and look for Jey Uso. Finn tells Dom, you go this way, I go that way. Liv comes out in the shortest shorts I've ever seen her wear, which, good golly, Miss Molly, as someone would say. She's flirting with Dom as usual, and then Finn gets in between very conveniently and tells her to back off. Rhea grabs Dom and says, "Let's go to the ring." So she essentially grabs him by his ear and like pushes him out to the ring. She says to Liv, "You want him? Come get him." Liv is up in the stands, just trying to look hot for Dom. Says, "Unlike you, I actually have some self-control, which is why I'm not attacking you." She says she has feelings for Dom, and she does too. Says Dom likes women like her. Oh no, she says Dom doesn't like women like you to Rhea, but likes women like me, and does that infamous twirl that we've all seen on Twitter 80 billion times. Rhea tries
Well,
to go after.
what's on Twitter?
Well, I mean that meme of her like turning around and showing her ass,
No,
essentially.
I haven't seen it.
Well, it'll be in the graphic for the show. So, um,
Oh, okay.
well, I mean, it's PG ish, but anyways, Rhea tries to go after her. Dom stops her, and then Dom finally grows a set, starts to
Christ,
start
mate, man. Jesus Christ.
porno. Anyway, um, then starts cussing out Liv in Spanish. Um, my wife who speaks Spanish was able to give me the gist of what he was saying, which is I hate you, and which is weird because he said I hate you with all of my soul or something like that. Um, calls her pendeja, which we kind of know what pendeja means. Um, and then Liv walks away crying. Rhea licks Dom's face and then kisses him. So, all right. Uh, thoughts on the segment?
Advancing the story very, very well. Possibly the second hottest thing in WWE right now. Um, Dom is turning on Rhea. That's it.
Yep.
Dom's turning on Rhea.
I mean, they kind of made it painfully obvious when Finn told Dom, "Hey, you go this way, I'll go this way." Like this, yeah, it's gonna happen. When it happens, we'll find out, but it's happening, and it's one of the bigger things going on Raw right now. So, let's see what happened after that. You had Zelina Vega versus Zoe Stark. Zelina coming out selling, her arm injury from the previous week. I thought this was a pretty decent match. Um, again, Zoe, I've always liked Zoe. She knows how to work. Zelina, I like. I think she's capable of having a good match. Um, but yeah, this is a pretty decent back and forth, match. Earlier in the night there was distraction, with was it with Sonya and Lyra. Out here, Lyra and her group pretty much level the playing field, and they cause another distraction, which causes Zelina to win. And yeah, again, good match, pretty decent TV match. Again for Zelina needed a win. She can't always lose. So, main event, you had Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, which let me kind of backtrack with that. So, the Judgment Day attacked Jey Uso while Sami Zayn is having his interview. He comes out to help Jey. So that sets up a tag match with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso versus Finn Balor and JD. I missed the last 5 minutes of this match. So, but I mean, I do know Sami and Jey won, and Braun came out. and that's really about it. So, can you kind of fill me in on what happened?
You just pretty much covered it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's really nothing to cover.
All right, but that was Raw. Pretty good show, in my opinion. NXT. Let's talk about some NXT. Every Tuesday night. Still no word on RJ. I've been texting him, see where he's at. So he's more than likely asleep.
Well, no, we're, we're
What?
we're good here.
Yeah.
We're almost done.
I mean, if he jumps on, he jumps on. So, the show opens with Trick Williams, talking about wanting his NXT title back. Cedric Alexander comes out to kind of give him advice, saying, "Listen, you're going about this the wrong way. Let me help you." Ashante the Adonis comes out because now they're in a team. Tells off Trick Williams. Trick Williams tells off Ashante, saying, "What happened to your group? Hit row." Um, Alexander gets in his face and says, "All right, let's wrestle tonight." So that sets up their match for later. Let's see. For the rest of the night, Ethan Page is paranoid because last week Oro Menso, or I keep calling him Menso, or is it Mensa or Menso?
Mensa.
Mensa. Oro Mensa. Pinned Ethan Page, but not in a match and with no referee. So he just like pinned him to the mat 1, 2, 3, and the crowd, chanted 1, 2, 3. Ethan Page, pretty much saying, "I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with me." But he didn't pin me. So he's like trying to get validation from everybody in the night, saying that I didn't get pinned at all. It wasn't a legal match. No disqualification match with Josh Briggs and I almost said Josh Alexander. Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. This is a fun match. This was very fun to watch. This was violent. Like
They
for
were
for,
killing each
NXT,
other.
for NXT standards, this is violent. This is pretty good to watch. I mean, you saw the fucking bruises and welts on Briggs's back. Eesh.
Yep.
That was brutal. I like Briggs. I think Jensen is somebody that has some value to him, whatever that may be. He definitely does have some value to him, and he does have a future in this company. RJ just texted me, says that he's up now.
Oh, okay.
And I like these two. Obviously, these two have good chemistry because they're in a tag team for the longest time. And Sean Spears gets involved. Sean Spears pretty much trying to be I guess, the devil on your shoulder, trying to trying to convince you to give into your inner darkest desires, or your darkest inner desires, or whatever you want to call them. Yelling at Briggs, "Hit him, do it. You want to do it." And then Briggs, grabs Spears, tries to throw him off the apron, and then Jensen hits him with a white steel chair, which I thought was funny. Why do they have a white steel chair? And then pins him. There was a point in the match where Briggs takes a very gnarly spot on top of the ring steps. That was oof. Two Southern boys just beating the shit out of each other. And Jensen gets the win, which makes sense because they're doing something with Jensen. And again, like we were going back to talking about Sonya. If you're gonna try and push somebody, give them some wins. So good for Jensen. Fun match, nice opener in NXT. Overall, what'd you think about the match?
That was a very fun, bruising brawl. Jensen getting the win makes sense because of Briggs. He's going to be in Japan for a month, so it's kind of like writing him off on TV while he's going to be in Noah doing the tournament, the G1 style tournament over there. So, I'm for that. And it seems like there's gonna be relationships with Brooks Jensen and Sean Spears. So I'm really seeking to see how that develops.
I don't know. I'm liking Sean Spears in NXT. He's kind of working part time as like both wrestler and agent almost. Um, I know there's some people kind of poo pooing over him in NXT. I don't know why, but yeah, he's doing a great job. I'm liking what he's doing. His job solely is to put over the young talent and to coach the young talent. And so far, I think he's doing a really good job. I was
For the people that are shitting on Sean Spears being NXT, where do you want him at?
I don't know. Like, there's just people. I'm not gonna say names, but just like there's people that I know that are like, why is he here? And it's just like, why do you think he's here? Like, he's not going to be NXT
where? So
champion.
if he's not NXT, where is he gonna be at? The main roster? You think he has TV time on the main roster? No, like he's fine in NXT. He's being a player coach. It's fine.
I mean,
Meet some of the people down there.
I was a little confused as to what his gimmick was, and then lately I'm like, okay, I get it. The devil on your shoulder guy. It makes sense, and he kind of does have that creepy face of like, you want to do it, give in to temptation. So, I'm fine with Sean Spears. I've always liked Sean Spears, so never had a problem with him. The whole chairman thing in AEW was kind of lame to me, but whatever. Again,
It's the same. He's doing the same gimmick, just without head chair shots.
which again, just looking back on that chair shot on Cody on one of those AEW shows, that was stupid then. That was stupid then, stupid now. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Next is you had Eddie Thorpe versus Lexus King. This is a surprisingly short match. I kind of figured it was going to go not like 20 minutes, but like at least like maybe 10-ish minutes, 9 minutes, but it was like what, 4 or 5 minutes. And ends with Eddie Thorpe getting the win, which granted, I like Eddie Thorpe. I do like Lexus King though. I don't know. I kind of think it's weird that he takes a lot of losses. He has more losses than wins. Like I don't know. How do you feel about his booking in NXT?
He's a heel. We do get. I know we just talked about Zelina Vega like wins and losses, but I think we get caught up in too much of wins and losses. Like, is he being booked on TV? Does he have a prominent role on television? They're going back to the older style of NXT where you really gotta build yourself up on the card. When Giant Gargano first joined NXT, like he wasn't fucking winning matches like that. When Kyle O'Reilly and fucking Bobby Fish first joined NXT, fucking Kyle O'Reilly's first match was against fucking Aleister Black. Got very good match, but he lost, right? And he lost a few matches, going into it before they created the Undisputed Era. So give it time. Give it time. It's fine. I mean, he's not like, it's not like he's buried or anything like that. And once new guys get called up, right? Like a Trick Williams, right? You know what I mean? Like guys like that, but Femi or Wesley, whoever gets called up, right? Eventually, guys like Lexus King are gonna be in that position to, maybe win the North American title or even the NXT title. So just give it time.
You're right. Next is you had Oro Mensa with Metaphor versus Ashante the Adonis. Decent match. I think Ashante, the Adonis, he has something to him. I can't really pinpoint what that is, but he has something to him. He definitely has personality. He's not terrible in the ring. I kind of like how he's just kind of like the new womanizer of NXT.
He's a whore. He's a fucking whore, and I love it.
There was a point, or there's a bit after the match where like he has two women help him to the back, and he just looks to the camera and goes. So I thought that was funny. I mean, again, going back to what we were saying about characters, like he has a character at least. He's a man whore. So I thought that was funny. What happened after this? All right. Ren Sinclair with No Quarter Catch Crew versus Carly Bright. Ren Sinclair, her whole gimmick now is that she has leverage over No Quarter Catch Crew for dumping a body, which was supposed to be Desmond. What's his name? Damon Kemp. Kemp. I'm sorry. So she has leverage over them, and basically saying, if I win, put me in your group, or else. So she ends up having a match with Carly Bright, who, is she like the cheerleader girl that they were like showing vignettes for a few months ago?
I believe so. A lot of these athletic blonde women are the same.
I mean, you're not wrong. But again, I like Ren. She's a local girl from, I believe, is she from San Antonio, or is she just wrestle in San Antonio?
She's not from San Antonio.
back. I mean, she had her.
She trained here. She trained here, lived here. She's from Dallas. That's where she's actually from, but she really made her bearings in San Antonio, like as far as like in the pro wrestling scene.
But yeah, she's a local girl. Good to see her kind of get a not necessarily a big spotlight, but a spotlight. Like she's doing something, and she's able to showcase her personality. I think that's what's eventually going to get her over a little bit. But she beats Bright, and much to Charlie Dempsey's dismay. So, but
You
again,
got to help her, otherwise she's gonna blackmail them.
so he has good facials. He has good like facial structure. Like when he's like annoyed. Again, he definitely is kind of slowly getting Daddy's, facial expressions. All right, we got RJ here. Let me get him in.
I agree. Charlie Dempsey, his facial expressions are fantastic. You know, when you're son of William Regal, I mean, you're gonna bound to have that.
Right. But again, I do like Charlie.
Yep. Absolutely.
What's up, RJ? Hello.
Mike may be on mute, possibly.
RJ, you might need to unmute your mic. But anywho. Next is Trick Williams versus Cedric Alexander. Fantastic match. Cedric, I've always liked Cedric. Cedric can work. This is the kind of match that Trick needs. Trick is over with the crowd. He still has a lot of work to do as far as finding a way to kind of tune up a little bit in the ring. But yeah, they're doing right by they did right by Trick taking the title off of him because he was starting to get a little stale as far as character growth. And also being able to have good matches and putting him in the ring with someone like Cedric really does help. And I'm also glad Cedric is in NXT because it gives him a chance to kind of like revitalize his career almost. But I really did like this match. I liked Trick getting this match out of Cedric and Cedric getting this match out of Trick. So, but these are the kind of matches that Trick does need. But overall, what'd you think?
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say it was a fantastic match, but I thought it was good. Thought it was really good. But with Cedric Alexander being back in NXT, it seems like they're utilizing him as a I won't say player coach, but kind of sort of like that. But it's not a good sign for Cedric Alexander being back in NXT, in my opinion, because usually when you go back to NXT, a lot of times those guys end up getting let go. I hope not. Because he's uber talented. But like, what are they gonna do with them? What are they gonna do with them at this point in time? But if WWE sees value in him to be an enhancement talent, so be it. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's fine with it with his paycheck. So, but they did have a very good match, though. Very good match, and Pete Dunne coming afterwards to attack Trick Williams. I mean, they're really trying to rebuild the bruiserweight, so I guess. But in my opinion, Pete Dunne has to win this feud. Because how you gonna be feuding with Sheamus and basically like most likely gonna beat Sheamus and to lose to Trick Williams on the secondary brand. So that's just my opinion, though.
In other words, taking Sheamus out of the equation, Trick maybe needs to start losing some more matches to maybe build up some more credibility.
No, he's credible. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, if you take Pete Dunne from the main roster and he's gonna beat Sheamus, multiple-time world champion, it doesn't make sense for him to go back down to NXT to lose to an up-and-comer in Trick Williams. And Trick Williams, who's a former NXT champion, I'm not saying Trick Williams is some jabroni. What I am saying is it just doesn't make sense. You beat a legend, in Sheamus, to go back down and lose to the new up-and-start newcomer.
No, I know what you mean. I'm not saying Trick isn't somebody that's not going to be a main eventer. I'm saying that you said Pete needs to win, and you just stated why I'm saying like Trick more so needs to lose, not just for Pete Dunne to look better, but to maybe kind of, I guess, humble himself a little bit because they kind of gave him too much too soon.
Possibility, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
Looks like we lost RJ.
I think he was having connectivity problems.
No worries.
All right, he's back. Let's see what we can do. All right, let's see if this works. All right, next is you had Metaphor versus Sol Ruka and Carmen Petrovich. Lash legend Jakara Jackson representing Metaphor. Not a bad match. Whatchamacallit. Sol Ruka and Carmen Petrovich working alongside Lola Vice, going up against the veterans of NXT, being Fallon Henley, JC Jane, and who's the other girl? I forget her name.
You're sounding very low.
No, I'm saying like who's the other girl with who's the girl with JC Jane?
Jasmine Nix.
Jasmine Nix. What's up, RJ?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Can't complain. Sorry for being late, guys. I apologize to the chat. Yeah, that alarm was not alarming, man. So I overslept, but good thing I got up on my own instincts. But yeah, man. Yeah, good to be back on. Good to be back on.
Good to have you
back
here.
on.
Yeah, man.
But we're just talking about NXT.
Okay.
For the most part, we kind of got through most of the show. We're on Metaphor and Sol Ruka. Versus Metaphor, which was Jakara Jackson and Legend, versus Sol Ruka and Carmen Petrovich. Not a bad match. Lash Legend is somebody I've seen improvement in.
Leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds. There you go. Jakara Jackson. Not saying she's bad. She's not. I mean, she's good. She's serviceable. I'll put it.
Yeah, she's not great. I don't think you should sugarcoat it. She has room for improvement for sure. She has a look though.
She needs reps. She needs reps. She remember she was out most last year with the broken wrist and everything like that. So she needs more reps.
100%. I agree.
Sol Ruka, obviously, people love the shit out of her. Petrovich, I think, is getting there. I think eventually the sword thing might need to go away. I'm not saying I hate the sword thing, but eventually it's going to be one of those things of like, okay, you're either going to use it or you're not. Kind of like the Drew thing where Drew came out with the sword, and it's like, okay, are you actually going to use it on somebody, or it's just a prop? But again, just going by, history. But yeah, this is a good tag team match between all four women. I like Sol Ruka. She's already a fan favorite. She's gonna be big up. She's gonna be pretty popular on the main roster because she has a nice look to her and she does the cool moves. And she's very bubbly. She's kind of like a Rob Van Dam ish, almost ish. And then Lash Legend, I think, is gonna be a big player on the main roster.
You know who Sol Ruka really reminds me of too? And I agree with you about the Rob Van Dam when it comes to like being like chill and everything like that. But she reminds me of what's that girl's name? Just based off her story alone of being like, because we have a joke that Ruka is actually our ebony queen because she's half black and half white.
Right.
She reminds me of
girl,
what's her name? The girl that played Catwoman. Kravitz.
Oh, Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah. I was like, she gives me Kravitz vibes just based off a story alone. It's crazy. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Drew. I think she's got something to her, and she's gonna be big for them when she hits that main roster.
Didn't know she was half black. Just on that tonight.
Yeah, no. Remember they did a video package explaining that. I think it was sometime last year. I was like, wait, what? She's black. She's half black. Wow.
I think she's like a quarter black because I think it's like her dad's like half black, so she'll be like, but she still got black. She got black in that family tree. So
Ebony Queen, So Ruka. Now I was like, wow, it's crazy, but yeah.
Shit. Cody's Cuban and Soruga's black.
Mm-hmm.
Learning new things every day. Legend Jakar won the match. Afterwards, they challenged the women's tag team champions.
Yeah.
Next week at Great American Bash, and the champions accepted. So cool.
Almost immediately too.
Yep.
There's a segment before the match where Ruka, Petrovic, and Lola Vice were watching Stephanie Vakura's house show match. So we're already getting ready for Stephanie Vakura to make her debut whenever that is. It could be sooner rather than later.
Probably,
the real
maybe Great
question,
American Bash, maybe.
the great question is, Drew, are they ready for Stephanie Vakura? That lady can wrestle. Oh my god, yo,
She's a killer.
she will tie. She gonna tie their asses up in balls and knots. All right.
I told Drew that Stephanie Vakura reminds me of a Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
But she could do a little bit more, like some springboards and stuff like that too. So yeah, like she's really really technically sound. She's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great little change up pace for the women's division for sure.
Yeah, I was getting. You know what though, and that's bang on because I was getting ready to compare her to Zack Sabre Jr., but with more twist. Yeah, so that's. I mean, me and you were right there in the realm of things.
Right there you go.
So yeah, except she excites me more than Zack Sabre Jr. for obvious reasons. But I mean, hey, I wouldn't be RJ without being RJ for a sec.
To quote
Right.
To quote Kevin Castle, she's hot as fuck.
Oh yeah, she is absolutely. If somebody tried to tell me she's got a long face, I'm like, what? What? Get the fuck out of here! Fuck out of here with that. So that girl is spicy, baby.
She's hot, but she can also wrestle, so that's an added bonus.
She can too.
There you
she
go.
can definitely.
So, speaking of another signee, Delta Brady, I believe that's her name. She officially got signed to WWE.
That girl's a monster. You seen her wrestle?
I think I've seen highlights of her. I've been trying to prepare for her to come in. And yeah, she's very intimidating for sure.
Oh yeah. These NXT rookie girls, they better step it up because if not, these three, Julia, Vakira, and Delta, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I
feel sorry for a lot of the women that's gonna need to take punishment from them, day to day at the fucking PC.
And then you add Jordan Grace potentially to the mix next year. She's definitely out of TNA next year.
Yep.
So
I don't know who's gonna take the belt off of her because I don't know what's going on with that with the knockouts division. It's gotten significantly more weak since Naomi left and Peraza left. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
Roxanne has her work cut out for her whenever these three women come in.
She's not the one I'm worried about, though. I think she's going to do fine.
Oh, yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, I think it's some of the other ones that's going to have.
I'm concerned for someone like
Kalani Jordan.
Kalani, yeah.
Kalani Jordan.
Jasmine
Nix.
Yeah, girls like that. Yep.
I think Carmen would be fine. Lola Vice would be fine because they're shooters.
Yeah, she fits
X-Fighter. She'll be fine.
Yeah, they're fine. They'll be fine. But
Hell's very tough, but I don't know how she'll take that type of punishment in a match with like Julia. You know what I mean? So I think she'll be fine. I think she can cut that, but because she has that fortitude in her. But yeah,
and she has experience. I think. Yeah, that's an interesting watch to look out for Thea Hale because she's definitely in that mix. So that'd be a great match actually.
Yeah,
Thea Hale. I think people sleep on her experience and what she can do. So
Thea Hale and Stephanie Vakira, I think they'll be an excellent match for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They're both they both. I mean, she's not as good as Stephanie, obviously, but she does have that technical tendencies for sure.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Stephanie Vakura and Lola Vice.
Hotter than a Mexican plate.
Kevin Castle's best dream. I'll just put it that way.
Oh my God. He's not gonna be able to walk. He's not going to be able to walk after that.
He's gonna call into Wrestling Soup. Mish, I can't do the show because the NXT last night.
Oh man!
I love Kevin Castle. I love him.
Shout out to Kevin Castle, the
OG, triple OG.
Mhm.
Next is you had Ethan Page confronting Oro Mensa again. Eventually they make a match, or I guess they make a contract signing for week 1 of Great American Bash, and then week 2 is the official NXT title match. Mensa pins him again with a referee present. Granted, it wasn't a authorized match, but again, just to kind of build up more suspense for this match and to make you care about it. Who did Mensa wrestle on NXT?
A shot to the Adonis.
Okay. Oh yeah, we did
Yeah.
talk about that earlier.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Mensa, I don't think I've seen him have too many singles matches. Anytime I've seen him wrestle, it's tag matches with Noam Dar.
Mm-hmm.
He's very athletic.
He's
Like,
really
very
He is.
athletic.
good. Yeah, ever
very
since
talented.
NXT UK, like I thought he was gonna get a bigger push when he came into NXT because he's really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Very.
He's got his own style to him and everything like that. I like Mensa. I think Mensa's good. And
Yep.
Noam Dar being, you hate when talent get injured, but sometimes it's a blessing in disguise for other people. And he's getting a shot to be in the spotlight now. And I think he's taking the ball and running with it, man. I don't think he's half-assing it. I don't think he's slowing down.
Yeah.
He's showing Shawn Michaels that, hey, you could trust me. You can give me this ball and let me run with it.
Yep.
And I'm gonna try to score it. So, and I think he's doing a good job.
I think the people who don't watch NXT regularly are gonna question this title match and like, wow, this doesn't really make any sense. If you look on pay-per-view outside coming in, like, okay, sure, but like there's story there obviously with this, because ever since Ethan Page debuted, who did he take out, right? You know what I mean?
Mensa.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think this is it's good storytelling. I think it's very good storytelling that they're saying right now for sure. And they're giving a new guy a shot. You never know if he passes with flying colors. You never know. You may have a new breakout single star on your hands. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't know if you don't try.
Exactly.
You don't miss half of the shots if you don't take them. So I think them giving him the opportunity is really good. And hey, to me, I think he's doing really, really well. But Ashanti D Adonis, though, I don't know if you guys did a deep take on him, but for me, he was definitely entertaining yesterday, and it was really good
Yes.
seeing him in NXT.
He has a
I
character.
called
He's
him.
a
I called
man
him.
whore.
He's a fucking whore.
He is.
He's a fucking man whore. Like I love it.
You slut.
Yeah,
That's him.
pretty much.
It's
Pretty much.
great.
Like he just has those 2 women help him to the trainers. He just looks to the camera.
Yep. And it's like Shawn Michaels did more with him in an hour than Triple H has done with him in 2 years on the main roster. It's crazy. Really crazy.
So and then Joe Hendry announced that he will have a concert next week. So
Yep.
and
Well, he's gonna flame Gallus.
and who was it? John Coffey, is that his name?
Joe Coffey.
Joe Coffey.
So
John Coffey's from the Green Mile. It's a different thing.
Joe
Joe Coffey challenged Joe Henry. Hendry, I'm sorry. So that's more likely to happen week 2, I'm assuming. All right, so we got to the main event, which is a 6-man tag match with the Rascals, who are back on NXT again, versus the team of Nathan Frazier and Axiom, who ended up finding a third man, which ended up being Javon Evans. Fantastic. I'm probably overusing that word too much, but all the hell with it. This is a fantastic, fun ass main event. This is everything you kind of hoped it would be. The Rascals are great in TNA. They're great in NXT. They're getting over. Not just Wesley, but Nash Carter or Zach Wentz, whatever you choose to call him, and Trey Miguel. These 3 are great together. This is like peanut butter and jelly. This is the way it should be. I was digging Wesley's singles run. It kind of got a little stagnant towards the end, in my opinion, but seeing him back with his boys, I think, has really breathed new life into him. It's, I think he needs MSK, he needs the Rascals, to work. Axiom and Frazier, I like. I don't think they get enough recognition. Frazier is just fucking fast. Like the guy is like a fucking. We were just talking about speedball Mike Bailey. This guy's a speedball as well. Like he just moves.
And I believe that was one of the matches I kind of want. I believe that was one on my wish list: Speedball Mike Bailey versus Nathan Frazier. Like that'll be a match I want to see. Also with Javon Evans and Leon Slater.
Oh boy, yes. Yeah, I don't think people will talk about Leon Slater too much.
Yeah.
That kid is unbelievable. That 450 into the shooting star press is insane.
Yeah.
How the hell he does that?
Swanton 450.
Oh, my fault. Swan. Yeah, one of that's it's nice.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck do you do that?
Dude, it's fucking
mid-flight. He does it mid-flight on the way down.
It's not like, oh, I'm gonna pretend to do a swanton. No, he's actually looks like he's doing a swanton, then turns into a 450.
It's fucking unbelievable.
It's unreal.
He's because you all right. We've seen every spot possible, at this point, and he's found a way to use a move that we've seen over and over again and make it unique in his own
moves together.
Yeah, man.
Moves together. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's unfucking believable. But he's one guy I would love to see. I would love to see that. I feel stupid that I had never even thought about that before.
Yeah, I got another one for you, and Drew has heard me said this before. Hammerstone versus Obafemi.
Oh my god! Talk about a Titan fight. Oh man,
yeah.
Sign me up for that joint. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yep.
Drew's getting hard. He's over here getting hard because of it. Ah.
Rock hard. So much semen. Anyways, going back to the main event, this is fun. Yeah. I like Javon Evans. I think for someone who's not even like legally old enough to drink, the guy has oodles of potential. Mm-hmm. He's going to be someone big for this company in the next 5 years. Again, just a little tidbit. I think he does need to beef up, which I don't think is going to be a problem.
But that's going to happen over time. He's fine. He's fine the way he is right now. He's only 20. He's fine.
I'm not expecting something out of a 20-year-old kid, but it's just it's going to happen. That's something I want to happen, but it will happen. But these three guys had good chemistry. Obviously, the Rascals have good chemistry because they've done this before. But for three guys, two of them being from another company, in a 6-man with three other guys, or I guess 4 if you want to count Wesley, that are in NXT that have never really had a match together before. They had great chemistry. Javon Evans always seems to work well with other teams. He just seems to kind of just find that chemistry with anybody. And again, Nathan Frazier is just, I don't think he gets enough credit. Axiom, when they started doing the mathematician superhero thing, I was like, okay. But they grew out of that, and it's working. It's getting him over. And he has some.
If Bruce Pritchard was still down there, he'll still be fucking, telling us fucking timetables right now. So
exactly. 4 times 8 equals what?
So
exactly. But it's getting over because he has some comedic timing. Because there'll be times where he's talking to Nathan Frazier, is like, "Look at my face. Can't you see how mad I am?" So I think that works.
Also, whenever they mention A-Kid. Anytime they mention A-Kid, that always pops me. They're all like, where happened to A-Kid? He's like, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's doing fine though.
Yeah. So they're doing like they're doing like the reverse El Generico thing with Axiom. So
yeah, it's hilarious.
I said this before. He has talent. Eventually, he's gonna need to take that mask off to go to that next level, because right now, just being a masked luchador wrestler, it's not going to work out long term. You need to take the mask off if they want to really start taking him seriously. And I think right now, what they're doing is they're developing that character. Then once he takes off that mask, whether it's heel or face, I think he's going to go to that next stratosphere, because everyone's already everyone already likes him because he's a very good wrestler and he has some character to him. So,
Yeah,
yeah, once he takes off that mask, I'm hoping that they'll do that with him Sunday. I think it would be a big difference for him.
I think so too. Because I mean, as a kid, he was a. I'm sorry, he was a great wrestler, but bland, generic Spanish babyface.
Right.
And Axiom has given him something to work with. And it's to me, it's even funny when him and Nathan Frazier are talking, and you just hear that deep ass voice coming out of that mask. It's like it's funny as fuck. It's like, bro, what?
Yep.
I don't expect that to come out of that mask, but it's funny. It adds to some of the comedic timing for me too.
Mhm.
But I definitely agree with you for him to go to the next level because there's only going to be one Ray Ray and Dragon Lee, even though they're not doing anything with him right now on the main roster. Dragon Lee, I think, will have a better shot than most to come
He's
close
a
to Ray Ray.
successor to Rey Mysterio at this point.
Yeah. But I don't think A Kid is gonna be a money maker for the mask.
No.
So it might as well just do away with it, like you said, for him to go to the next level. I definitely agree with that. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it.
So going back to the main event, they did tease early in the night. MSK wanted to get their tag titles back. I don't know if in the future maybe they'll do MSK versus Axiom and Frazier at maybe week 2 of Great American Bash. Who knows? But the Rascals did win this match. Afterwards, all 6 men shook hands.
Mhm.
But this is a fun main event. This is a delightful episode of NXT.
Yeah.
NXT is usually a fun watch. It was a good opener with Briggs and Jensen, and a good closer with this 6-man tag match. Guys, do you have any thoughts on the 6-man? And then we'll just move on to the rest of the show.
I'll just say this real quick. Thought it was an amazing main event, very awesome. NXT, except for the opener with Briggs and Jensen. I thought the first hour was a little slow, not really a ton going on. But the second hour was really, 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 really good, really good. So I have to get NXT. If I give a rating out of 10, 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair. I wasn't too crazy about the promo exchange between Cedric and Trick. I thought Trick did well. That Shanti did well, but Cedric Alexander's voice, he sounds like a geek. I can't take you seriously when you're talking like that, bro. Like, come on, man. And I just thought he was stumbling and bumbling over his words, so that kind of dragged it down a little bit. But yeah, 7 out of 10 is about right. But to the main event, I thought the main event was spectacular. I thought all 6 guys had their working boots on, and they went out there and they really had a really fun crash bang match with some urgency and stuff like that. It was really fun to watch. I was cursing at work. I even got in trouble for cursing out loud. So thanks guys. Thanks guys for getting me in trouble for being unbelievable in that motherfucking ring. But it was really good. Really fun watch, and I said it yesterday on Twitter. Um all 6 of these guys deserve their flowers for putting on a really fun match, really fun main event, and we'll see what this leads for the Rascals moving forward. I said it earlier that maybe they should give Impact the match, have Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz try to get the titles, but fail only for Wesley and Zachary Wentz to win the belts eventually. That way you can give TNA one match, have them fail in TNA, but then have them win in NXT. And the reason why I say have them fail in TNA is because TNA is not live; it's taped, so you can get away with it. Whereas NXT is live every week, so you do something fun, live and spur of the moment. Whereas TNA's taped and everything gets spoiled and this, that, and the other, and can't really you can't do no big surprises in TNA when it's not live. So
Right. As far as Great American Bash, week 1, so far the match is announced. Roxanne Perez versus Thea Hale for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm assuming that's going to be the main event. Tony D'Angelo versus Tavion Heights for the NXT Heritage Cup. And then you have the Unholy Union defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Metaphor. Jakar Jackson, Lash Legend. And then week 2, the already announced main event is going to be Ethan Page versus Oro Mensah for the singles, or for the NXT Championship. So got that to look forward to. RJ, can you give us your quick thoughts on TNA Slammiversary?
Slammiversary is a pretty good show. I was tuned out some matches, but I had to go back and watch the main event because I fell asleep before the main event. But yeah, from what I saw, it was really, really good. I enjoyed myself. I had a ball. I thought the tag team title match was good. I like ABC. Those are two guys I love to see in NXT. Mixing it up with whether it's the Rascals or whether it's with Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I would like to give Santana his props, him and Jake something. I thought they had a really good, solid match too. There was a lot of decisions I didn't like. Obviously, I let those be known publicly. Hammerstone losing to Eric fucking Young in 2024. What are we doing? How do you have a talent like that and have him lose to Eric Young like that on pay-per-view? It makes no sense. Or your pre-show, your pay-per-view. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't give me hope for the rest of the show. If I'm a newer guy, and this is supposed to be a new era for TNA, why are old guys that are part of the past of TNA pinning young talent? It makes no sense to me. So yeah, I was kind of that kind of frazzled me a little bit because it was like Hammerstone is this top prospect that MLW built up, and TNA is going half and half with him, and he got injured, and this is his first match back, and it's come on, bro, a little too much for me, man. But that had me a little frazzled. But yeah, the rest of the show was fine. I thought Francis and PCO had a fun little brawl. Ash by Elegance and Jordan Grace. God bless them. They tried. I really didn't care because I knew they ain't put no belt on Dana Brooke. At least not right now. Jordan Grace leaves, then maybe she'll get it then. But I don't think it's happening while Jordan Grace is still there. And the main event I thought was fine too. I know everybody's mad that Joe Hendry didn't win. And I see both points to that because it's like TNA really doesn't have much going for it except for the NXT partnership. Nobody's screaming about how this is popping off in TNA all by itself. So I think the NXT connection is kind of keeping them, in the limelight a little bit. And Joe Hendry is too. And it's like, okay, he's a draw. Why not go with your draw? But then I understand the whole thing of, okay, the chase, but you put the belt on another babyface, you know? So that, I don't know, man. Out of necessity, you probably should have kept the belt on Moose, or did the heel turn with Alexander and Alexander had the belt. Said Joe Hendry can go right into the chase because I don't know, do they have time to go all the way to Bound for Glory with Joe Hendry? Because I don't know, man. The way they were highlighting him, and I don't know if you guys mentioned the video package in full detail, but they went in deep with that video package for Joe Hendry on NXT last night.
Yep. That
was a deep ass video because I'm walking to work and I'm listening to it. I'm like, damn, they really telling this man's life. That was a deep video package. So WWE don't do that for nobody unless they want them.
Let alone a guy from another company.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They want this motherfucker. They want this motherfucker. So TNA, I don't know, man. TNA better get it together. Otherwise, WWE's gonna be stealing some people from them, and there's nothing you can do about it. So they better quit playing around with this guy. I'm not the biggest Joe Hendry guy. I mean, he's entertaining, but when the bell rings, it's like, eh. And that's just how this is how I feel about it. He didn't do anything that's overly impressive. Here's a fuck up, but
I mentioned that too. As well.
Yeah.
He's a less in-ring talented LA Knight, and that's just the god honest truth.
No, you're right. You're right.
He's kicking punch guy. Like that's pretty much what he does.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything that's overly spectacular or anything like showsman like. He's just kick punch guy. pick you up. Even his finisher looks a little weak, unless he's doing it to a smaller guy.
Right. And again, I want to preface, if you take Joe Hendry, you put him in the Indies here in San Antonio or fucking Bumblefuck, Alabama, he will look incredible because he's gonna make everyone there look good. But
Yeah.
in comparison to his peers, he's average. Nothing wrong with that though.
Yeah, it's not wrong with that. I mean, a lot of people make careers off of being average.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Even some of the
Right.
bigger stars in
it's all about the
wrestling.
aura. It's all about the aura. Like, if you have an
Yeah.
aura about you, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
You know what
he
I mean?
has, and he has it.
So I mean, you guys are probably gonna look at me crazy when I say this, but was Steve Austin putting on 5-star matches?
No, especially
Steve
after the
Austin's
broken
aura
back of the neck.
was he was the ass kicker.
Oh, I mean,
was
he
the
did
beer
have
drinker.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Okay, it's
well, you asked me a question. Was he put
No.
on five? You didn't put qualifiers. Oh, well, you know, Bret. He put on 5-star match against Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, Rock.
But was Steve Austin a great wrestler in general? Like, was he a guy that could put on 5-star matches by himself? That's my question.
I mean, he was before.
No one could put 5-star matches on by themselves.
The point I'm trying to make was Steve
I'm
Austin.
just asking the question.
I know. I'm not getting that. What I'm saying is, it's all about the aura, and it helps to have that aura. You don't always have to be, Kurt Angle. Not everyone can be Kurt Angle. Sometimes you just have to have a character and an aura, and if you can just be kick and punch guy, that's all you need. Because the crowd,
I agree.
the crowd paid tickets to see you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Joe Hendry, we don't know how long this is going to last with him. For all we know, he could end up like the Hawk Tua girl by next month.
Nah, he's more creative than that. I give him credit. He's more creative.
Well, I mean, did you guys see that video where she was at a concert and nobody reacted to her?
Of course not, because it's not like she's doing porn.
Right.
She's not giving us examples about the Hawk Tua shit. Like, what are you doing? Like,
she said one thing,
and that's it.
She got over with it, right? And now she's trying to make money off it, which I don't. No hate at all. Make money.
That wave.
Yeah. No, make your money, but it's not like the 188th Grammy Awards freaking the Hawk Tour. Like, no one's gonna give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
No. But I mean, it's like Bart Simpson, when he said, "I didn't do it." That lasted for like not even a month. Now this girl's fame has run out. So, but again, I guess with Joe Hendry, we don't know how long this is gonna last, and
She
they're
cares
milking
though,
shit
if
out
her
of it.
fame ran out or not.
What was that?
I don't think she cares that her fame ran out or not, because like she's like been around like all these celebrities and stuff. Like she was hanging out with I mean, if you count Lil Pump as a celebrity, but she's been the spotlight over the last month or so. So you know what I mean? If it ends tomorrow, then I'm pretty sure she's satisfied with it. You know what I mean? Get a little fame, be famous, be a meme for about for a month or so, and you got something you can tell your kids about. Well, you probably don't, not for that, but you get it. You get what I'm saying.
It's like, mommy, how'd you get famous? I got famous for talking about spitting on dicks.
What's dicks? Nothing.
Oh
my god.
Anywho, let's move on from this conversation. This was an interesting conversation. I might just put this one up on YouTube.
Go ahead.
What were we talking about? So we already covered SLAMMIVERSARY, NXT.
I thought overall SLAMMIVERSARY was fine. I thought it was a fine watch. I thought it was a fun show. I had a lighting issue. Like, if the place was sold out, why not light that motherfucker up? It was too dark, man. It was like they was trying to go for that black and gold NXT look where the building was all dimmed down. Like, come on, man. Like, lighten that shit up a little bit, bro. Like, what y'all doing?
Yeah.
I'm watching it on the phone and I'm squinting a little bit like I'm an old man or blind or some shit. And it's like, man, come on, light that building up, dog. Light it up, son. But otherwise, I thought it was a fun show, really fun pay-per-view. Teenagers gotta continue to. My problem with teenagers, they gotta start like really pushing some young talent, man. Talent that's young, that's gonna help carry them. Like WWE, ex-WWE talent, That's always been the quick fix for them, and it never works out in the long haul, in my opinion, at least. They have to really start putting faith in a lot of these younger guys that they have, man. Because who knows? Those are going to be the guys that dip and go to WWE, man, if they ain't careful.
Yeah.
So they got to do better with talent management, in my opinion. That's still an issue with TNA.
Speaking of issues, what happened on Dynamite tonight?
Blunt Gus was tonight. It was a very fun match. I thought Dynamite tonight was fun. Fun show. I mean,
I was saying this real quick. I think they need to do something different next year with Blood and Guts. Don't y'all find it odd that the Young Bucks have been in every Blood and Guts match since the concept started?
pretty much, yeah. I mean,
I think
for
they
a
need to
while,
do
the
something different.
Undisputed Era was the only team that was in fucking War Games too. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that got old too. That got
Yeah.
old too.
yeah.
I
So
just think they need to do something different with give another team a chance next year.
I mean, we'll see what the hell. I mean, I can't even imagine what AEW is gonna be like a year from now. So
me neither, but
yeah, I
they
mean,
gotta try. They gotta try to do something
want
different.
to. It scares me to think that far out for AEW. WWE sure, but like AEW and admittedly, so AEW has been better the last month. So because I thought tonight's show was fairly well, despite the blood and guts. I thought their Mariah May and Tony Storm had a hot little segment. Tony Storm makes a return. Pac he's looking to punch his ticket to Wembley Stadium, so he's trying to get involved. And they retire the international championship and made it the American Championship. I believe that's the official name for it. I believe the American Championship. The only thing I didn't like was fucking Jericho and Suzuki. So yeah. Yeah, I mean that was the only thing I didn't like, but outside I thought it was a fairly good show. The American Champion, I just found it right now. The American Champion, I thought the new title looks good, and they're getting rid of the international title because you already got a continental title, and just making one the American Champion. I think that's totally fine. So hopefully they keep that concept for this title belt because yeah, it was confusing after for a while. So
Camille finally made her debut. I'm sorry,
yeah,
Justin.
Camille made her debut.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's going to be Mercedes heavy. So it's gonna be that Shawn Michaels Diesel type of vibe there. So yeah. So you're bringing her in, and she's gonna be in a top program for the women's division, part of the top program for the women's division. So yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. But I thought Dynamite was fine. Blind Guts match. I mean, look, it's polarizing, right? Like, it's too much blood. It's called Blood and Guts. Like, get the fuck over it, man. Fucking pro wrestling has blood in it. Be a fucking man. Either be a man or don't fucking watch. But there were some stupid spots, I will say. And how they ended the match is gonna be polarizing, but it makes sense though. I mean, Darby Allin, how else Darby Allin's gonna get a title shot against Jack Perry other than bribing to light him on fucking fire, and and we don't want to see death on our TV screen. So, but I don't know if it's the worst Blood and Guts match I ever seen. It wasn't a bad match, but like I don't know if it's like I think it's lower tier. I'll just say I think it's a lower tier Blood and Guts match. So, but overall, tonight I thought it was a good show. Though. I'd probably give maybe like a 7.5, 8. That was very, very good. Very, very good.
So this kind of segues into our news for AEW. An official statement on the matter as far as like the TV talks between AEW and WBD. Fightful Select has reported on Tuesday that those close to WBD say an announcement from either AEW or Warner Brothers regarding a new deal isn't imminent, and that the framework of a deal currently isn't done. That doesn't mean an agreement is far off. However, as those in AEW and WBD still expect a deal to be reached, and for both sides to continue their relationship for years to come. One possible time the deal could be reached is during the upcoming Olympic Games in Paris, France. as both AEW owner Tony Khan and WB president David Zaslav will both be in Paris for the games and are set to meet while there. While this meeting doesn't guarantee the deal will be reached, the meeting has been set between Khan and Zaslav for months. They are expected to have some sort of negotiation. While the news remains an overall positive for AEW, it should disappoint some fans who are hoping for an official announcement this week. And I have another thing regarding the NBA on TNT. This is from the actual NBA, NBA Communications. New York, July 2024, the 24th, which it's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Ma.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
The NBA today issued the following statement. Warner Brothers Discovery's most recent proposal did not match the terms of Amazon Prime Video's offer, and therefore we have entered in a long-term agreement with Amazon. Throughout those negotiations, our primary objective has been to maximize the reach and accessibility of our games for our fans. Our new arrangement with Amazon supports this goal by complementing the broadcast cable and streaming packages that are already part of our new Disney and NBC Universal arrangements. All three partners have also committed substantial resources to promote the league and enhance the fan experience. We are grateful to Turner Sports for its award-winning coverage of the NBA and look forward to another season of the NBA on TNT. Could have sworn there was an update to that.
So, long story short, a lot of words there. Long story short, TNT, NBA, Inside the NBA, no more after this year. Amazon, NBC, and ESPN/ABC have the media rights to the NBA.
Long story short, but yeah, it's gonna be weird, with the NBA no longer on Turner Sports after next year. I mean, it's been like Americana almost, but so Justin, you and me talked about this a few weeks ago, where I believe you said that AEW getting, I think you said like $1 billion or $2 billion, or maybe it was probably
$1
more,
billion. They do not want to get $1 billion deal. AEW.
because you gotta make that money back eventually.
You do not want $1 billion deal. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't care what these people on X think, because they don't use their fucking brains when they talk this shit. They just like, oh, it's good for the company. Yeah, but what the fuck are they gonna get in return in investment if your shows are only getting 650,000? And on fucking Collision, you're only pulling in, 300,000 or wherever it is, and you're barely pulling in fucking whatever on fucking Rampage, right? It matters. That's number one. Number two, this is a big deal for AEW in the sense of, I don't think they're going to get $1 billion deal. They needed the NBA to give them the $1 billion deal, because they were going to get more, and when I mean Warner, WBD, they were going to get more advertising rights, which is more money to spend on the NBA and also be their other products as well. Now, since Warner's going to have less money, I don't think they're going to get $1 billion deal. And if they do get $1 billion deal, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good for AEW. Maybe for a couple of years or whatnot, right? But like, do you really think that with the trends of what AEW has been doing, and like I said, over the last month has been good, but 80% of this year hasn't been good at all. With the trends of what AEW is doing and what they're doing there, do you really think that they're gonna be able to get back over 1 million and keep it over 1 million every single fucking week? No, that ship is sailed. The only I will put it this way: the only person that will help them get over 1 million at this point in time, which is not gonna happen, is someone like a Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Someone like a Roman Reigns, someone like a John Cena. But John Cena's not going to sign to AEW. He's about to be fucking retired. And he's going to be going to Hollywood full time. Roman Reigns ain't going to be fucking, wrestling much for the near future. Once he's done with WWE, he's going to be in Hollywood as well. There's
Mhm.
nobody in AEW or nobody that can come from WWE to AEW that's going to give him that million. It's not Seth Rollins. It's not Damian Priest. It's not Gunther. It's not Cody fucking Rhodes. It's none of those names is going to help AEW get to over a million viewers each week and average that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So the only way to basically to get as close as you can to a million is start making long engaging storylines that people like. Whether if you like the talent or not, I don't give a shit about the talent that's there. I don't care. But really, what it is make long engaging storylines that people are gonna like, and have shit make sense. That's the basis of it, right? We can talk about, oh well, the wrestling or this and the other doesn't make sense. The stories are gonna be more powerful than the matches at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck what they do in the fucking ring. They can go fucking Pat could go out there and wrestle a fucking fucking football for fucking 30 minutes. I don't give a fuck what's going on inside the ring. I care about stories. I need stories for me to come back and watch your product. If you don't give me stories, I'm not gonna watch your product. If you're not giving me consistency, I'm not gonna watch your product. I don't give a fuck what's going on in Ring of Honor, and you bring it on over to Dynamite. I want to know what's happening on Dynamite. I want something that's going to happen on Dynamite to bring me over to Collision, to possibly bring me over to Rampage. You think it'll be that simple, but they make it as hard as hell. But back to the point of these talks. They don't want $1 billion. I rest my case.
RJ, do you have anything to add to that?
No, Justin nailed it all on the head. It's but no, I agree with you, Justin. They got to be more consistent in trying to build an audience and shit like that. Like they really have to. I think Tony Khan doesn't do himself any favors when he makes statements like "I book for the sickos." Okay, but the sickos are a niche audience, super niche audience, and you're never gonna grow.
Take no fucking shower.
Yeah, a lot of sickos need showers. Need to get the cookie crumbs out of their belly buttons. Like, come on, like you have to stop. You got to stop. And I think he doesn't do himself any favors when he says shit like that. I just think he needs an advisor, somebody that's not gonna tell him no. I mean, somebody's gonna tell him no. Somebody's gonna not kiss his ass and brown nose him because he's the one writing the check. But unfortunately, money talks, bullshit walks. So that's probably
There's
never gonna
nobody in
happen.
that company. There's nobody in that company at all.
No.
There's nobody that I trust. You got Jeff Jarrett there. You see what the fuck happened to TNA in the fucking early days, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't trust fucking not a fucking nobody that's there at all.
You're right. And you're right.
Not,
You're
not,
right.
not even Shane McMahon.
No. Shane McMahon had his chance and he blew it at the Royal Rumble a couple years ago.
You seen Shane McMahon with fucking political power? No.
Here comes the money.
Like not even. I'm Vince McMahon. Damn it. No. I do want to see it just to see the chaos that's gonna happen with that.
The aftermath of that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. Like I'm Vince McMahon. I'm coming. You want to wrestle your 5-star classics? Not me, brother. Fucking 5 minutes or less.
Like, hey Vince, this is Matt and Jackson, the Young Bucks. Are they the janitors?
These guys are like the Hardys from the 90s.
Or meeting Marco Stunt. Who left their child in the office?
What the hell are you doing here, kid? Get the hell out. Give him a boot in the ass. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I want to see Shane come there for just the wrong reasons. I want him to have bad matches with talent. I want Shane McMahon versus John Moxley in a death match.
That would kill AEW though.
Yeah.
Well, I know you want. Yeah, go ahead.
I want Dave Meltzer to give that 5 stars. That's how fucking bad I want that match.
He's not.
Yeah, that would kill AEW.
Shane McMahon versus Kenny Omega. Shane McMahon versus Will Ospreay.
That would kill AEW.
Want to see Shane McMahon versus Camille? Shane McMahon versus Camille in a death match. That'd be
Oh
great.
God.
Christ, man.
Oh
but-
my
God.
God! You know how much blood there would be?
well, I mean, while we're going at it, just let's just do fucking Julia Hart versus fucking Shane McMahon.
Oh
Rio
my God!
versus Shane McMahon. How about this? How about Rio versus Powerhouse Hobbs? Like we're just
Oh
And
yeah!
I want to hear Dave Meltzer hold back his complete and utter rage while he's giving this a 5-star match.
5 stars. Oh.
Well, Brian, what they were doing out there, reminded me of, Bruder, Brosy.
Excellent journalist, if you want to call him that, or whatever the fuck you want to call him. Writer, bad speaker.
yeah.
Bad.
He's not the best at speaking, and I thought I say a lot and
Yeah,
just
me too.
hey, but hey, it is what it is, right? Hey,
Especially when I was on a date.
people won't admit this though. Without Dave Meltzer, none of us would be doing this shit because there wouldn't be no such thing as wrestling journalism. So
That is true. I mean, you salute him to a certain degree.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
his ludicrousy is just
Oh
it's
yeah,
out of
no. His hypocrisy is fucking. It's really stupid, but you
Yeah.
know. But you got,
He
but a lot of people forget that fact. You give credit where credit's due, and there's like people on fucking social media who claim themselves to be journalists. The show on Dave Meltzer, I'm like, well, guys, without this fucking guy, you wouldn't even be doing this shit right now, like But it is what it is.
All right. A few more news bits. Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Tamina are apparently on their way out of WWE. They haven't been released. Their contracts are just going to expire. MVP already put up a Instagram post, pretty much just talking about his time in WWE, saying that he came back because he wanted his son to see him wrestle. So Tamina hasn't really put anything up yet. Bobby Lashley, kind of the bigger name out of those three. It's unfortunate for obvious reasons because I thought this second run in WWE was the best I've seen Lashley look. His first run wasn't that great. When he came back, they pushed him as more of a badass as an athlete. I mean, I know he did that in TNA. I'm more so talking about his WWE run, but they pushed him as more of a badass. He became WWE champion for the first time. The Hurt Business was huge. In the pandemic, you had Drew McIntyre and the Hurt Business. They were what were really carrying the pandemic before Roman came back. And they very unceremoniously got broken up after Bobby, like literally after Bobby won, the WWE title, which didn't make any sense then, doesn't make any sense now. And for a good while, Bobby was really starting to get himself over as a babyface. And RJ brings this up a lot. I think it was like Hell in a Cell, I believe, where he had a match against somebody, and he goes
Omos
to
an
the crowd.
MVP.
There we go. He holds up a WWE title from the crowd, and the crowd starts going apeshit for it because they wanted to see Bobby Lashley, go after possibly Roman. And we had Roman and Bobby for like Extreme Rules, but this is before Tribal Chief and before, Lashley was starting to get over. So we never really got a proper matchup between those two. We kind of didn't really get a proper matchup with Brock and Lashley, if we're being honest. We never got that Mania match. I mean, their matches were kind of
That Mania match is a proper match for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that should have been a Mania match in my opinion. Yeah, Lashley. How old is he?
He's mid-40s. I think he's getting close to that 50 range.
Just looks great. Black don't crack. And then the guy's obviously still in great shape. He has value. Not going to AEW, that's for damn sure. I don't even know if TNA can afford him, but from what I hear,
I see him going. So okay, where will you see him going then? If it ain't AEW or TNA, what makes sense? And for him to make money.
At the end of the day, it's what makes sense for him because I can't speak for him. I'm just as a fan of him.
Well, in your opinion,
I wouldn't mind seeing him going to TNA,
right?
but at the end of the day, it's all about money. Money talks, bullshit walks. So Tony's gonna open up his big ass checkbook to him. I can already tell because Shelton Benjamin allegedly is going to AEW. MVP might go to AEW just so they can have that Hurt Business reunion minus Cedric. So it wouldn't shock me if he went to AEW, but I
Right.
don't see him going to AEW. Just my opinion, because I don't think they'll know how to use him. But what do you guys think about Bobby Lashley, MVP, Tamina?
So
The
first on
Newsroom?
Tamina, I'll say this: she is. I think she's gonna stay with the company, just not be a wrestler. I think she may be like an agent or a trainer, a role that she's probably already been doing for a while already. You know what I mean? So, like, she's been backstage forever, not wrestling. I'm pretty sure they're using her as like a counseling role, whatever. I think it's gonna be the same thing. Now it's like, oh, I don't want to wrestle no more. I haven't really been wrestling anyway. So I think that's probably what they're gonna do with her. That's number one. Number two, MVP going to AEW. Bobby Lashley, AEW. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. How long they use him or whatever, that is besides the point. I don't think that fucking matters. I think he wants to go over there, still wrestle a little bit, and end up retiring. I don't think this is gonna be a thing where it's like, hey, I'm signed for 5 years. I'm trying to be the top guy. I don't think it's gonna be any of that. I think he's at to the point where I don't think he really gives a fuck. He wants to make his money, as he's still in his probably not athletic prime, but where he can still really go in matches. Rebuild the Hurt Business. Maybe win the American Championship or the Continental Championship or something like that. Have a few good matches on pay-per-view and call it a career. I don't think there's any I don't think there's anything bad that's gonna come out of it. But there's gonna be people out there that's gonna be like, oh, he's a former WWE champion. You're treating him like this. I don't think that's why he will want to go to AEW. I don't think he wants to be the AEW champion. I don't think he really cares who's the AEW champion or whatnot. He wants to still make some money, right? And maybe win a mid card belt, right? Or the tag team belts or the trios, whatever the case may be, right? And they can probably build a new Hurt Business too as well, where they can start putting over some other African American talent down there. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Look, nobody, like I told Monty in private, because Monty,
Yeah.
big time Bobby Lashley fan. I'm like, they're not outright releasing him. His contract is up, and if his contract's up, he has the right as a free agent to go wherever he wants to go. If he doesn't want to sign with
WWE
WWE,
offer him. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Hmm?
WWE offered him a contract, and it wasn't to his liking. So WWE
Yeah.
tried to keep him. He said
Yeah.
no. He wants money. If he wants money, he's gonna go to AEW. He ain't going to TNA. He ain't going to Japan. He's going to AEW. Yeah, I mean, or I don't see him in I don't see him in MMA again. He's too old for that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, and the training for on your body, that's
Yeah.
very big. I don't care how physically great he looks, and he looks fantastic. He is a super Negro, okay? But the fact of the matter is that Father Time eventually gets us all, and that's what I was trying to tell him. I was like, and if he's not getting the main event push, and they're not going to give him main event level money, looking at his age, then it just wasn't going to happen. Now, on the flip side, I agree with you. Tony Khan is going to have the money. He's going to open that pay. What do you want, Bob? Write a number, and it's yours, and he's going to take it. And the Hurt Business thing, I think there's some legitimacy to that. I think that they're gonna want to leave a legacy in wrestling, and I think they're gonna go to AEW to jumpstart that. With who? I have no idea. Maybe try to get Powerhouse Hobbs by the time he's back away from the
Yeah.
Don Callis family, because
That'd
that's
be
not doing
great.
anything for his career. And I don't know why anybody would want to join Don Callis family, because that faction does nothing for nobody. It's a good faction, like the talent pool, but it does nothing. Nobody's winning championships, except for I guess if you want to. Hey, Kyle Fletcher was the Ring of Honor television champion. Like that means
Right.
a
Yeah. I
damn
mean, lost
thing.
it now, so
Like that means a damn thing. It means nothing.
Takasha's in New Japan doing the G1, so
which is fantastic. I saw a couple of matches.
I've been seeing him killing it over there so far. I need to probably check out some of the matches because
Yeah, I've been watching nothing but his stuff because I'm a fan of his. I like Takeshita.
yeah,
He's a hard hitting Japanese guy,
yeah.
and he's a monster too. I wish AEW do more better with him because he puts on great matches, but it seems like he gets no reward, and it's quite frustrating to be honest with you. But yeah, Bobby Lashley and those guys, I think stealing Hobbs away, that'd be pretty cool. You bring in Shelton Benjamin, fine, and you do a little something with some guys and leave a lasting legacy in the wrestling business. So that's cool. Leave your stamp in. Hopefully AEW can do something with it in the future, depending on how long the future is. But yeah, I think they're just gonna go, and that's fine. Once again, nobody's being released here. Time is run out. They're not seeing eye to eye on creative money, whatever the deal is, and they're just gonna leave, and that's all right. That's your right as a free agency, the agency to do whatever you want to do or do what's best for you in your career. Nobody should be mad at that. Nobody.
I'm gonna bring something up here because
Mhm.
again, the fake outrage, and I just gotta call it out because people are
Yeah.
fake on social media, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
So people are upset that Bobby Lashley is gonna be leaving WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask a direct question, a direct response. Where do you see him in WWE in 2024 with the current roster construction?
I mean, with this youth movement that they're doing, he's more than likely going to be the guy putting over other guys if he did sign back.
Exactly.
Exactly, right? So then the
Mhm.
narrative will be, oh, he's game buried. Let
Right.
let him go and let him go to AEW.
Exactly.
If you
I
really
got
love
no
Bobby
issues with it.
Lashley, you go watch AEW then. Oh wait, you're just being mad at the situation, being mad at WWE because they're letting go of Bobby Lashley, but you don't want to go watch Bobby Lashley on another company. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, no, of course. Like, no, and that's the beauty of having multiple companies because like I told Monty earlier, WWE can't have everybody underneath contract.
No,
And it's
not
not
at all.
it can't happen. It's not gonna happen.
What happens when Trick
You
Williams get caught up?
exactly
You
like
know what I
come
mean?
on, like
Like one has to be used over the other, right? Like, I mean, not
exactly.
necessarily, but like does have to be direct. But like, what happens when Trick Williams gets caught up and fucking Obafemi?
Yeah. You
Like,
gotta go,
what?
you
What
gotta
do you?
move with the youth.
Oh man, I can't wait to see Obafemi versus Bobby Lashley. Then let's say Bobby Lashley, lose, beat. Let's say he beats Obafemi. Oh, Obafemi loses to Bobby Lashley. Well, goddamn, like, what is it?
Do you
So
want the match
again,
or do you not want the match? I know, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
exactly. So it's like you can't win with these people. So
No.
it's like just let Bob, if he still wants to wrestle, let him go to AEW, let him make his money. If you want to go and support him, go watch him. You don't got to watch the entire company. Go watch him and maybe a few other favorites, and just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Speaking of free agent news, allegedly it was announced that Buddy Matthews resigned with AEW, but that was by Russell Purist, and he's still in negotiations to sign a new contract with AEW. Aleister Black, there's talk about him maybe.
Buddy Matthews signed a new deal, and for AEW this past February.
Okay, then never mind.
That's PW Insider.
There's been talk about Aleister Black and also maybe Keith Lee getting out of their deals because I know their deals are supposed to be coming up by next year. Aleister Black is an interesting one because he was. I know we just had this conversation about WWE can't have everybody on the roster, but Aleister Black was a Triple H guy.
Mhm.
Keith Lee was a Triple H guy, but you look at both guys. Aleister Black is someone you can maybe get more out of. Keith Lee at this point is
Yeah.
not the Keith Lee of 5 years ago, unfortunately, for
Yeah,
a multitude
COVID
a
fucked him
multitude
up.
of reasons.
It's his health more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a multitude of reasons, but COVID obviously. But I don't know. I mean, is there any? Do you think there's any like grain of truth to that of maybe Black going back to WWE, maybe Keith Lee going back to WWE? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Black,
Yeah.
yes. Lee, no. I think Lee's cooked, man. And the older he gets too, I just think the more cooked he is.
Yep.
But Black, yeah, I can see Black back in the WWE because Triple H will want to make that right.
I think so too. Andrade is there right now,
Mhm.
and a lot of people are saying the same thing about Andrade. Triple H wanted to make it right with them. He is the speed champion right now, so that's something. But and he's they've been using him too as well. But like, I don't see Andrade as WWE champion or maybe
Me neither.
worldwide champion. Maybe if they do it right, build him up right, I can maybe see that right. Nothing wrong. You don't gotta be. I say this all the time. You don't gotta be WWE champion. I, I'm kind of seeing the same thing with Aleister Black. Possibly. He's definitely to me over a little bit higher tier than Andrade. Due to
Yeah.
character work along and all that stuff, and maybe they can like form a faction with them, and maybe it can work, right? But again, I just see him as another guy on the show having great matches, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, look, you got to look at the pool of
Yeah.
talent in
You definitely
WWE,
do.
and you really gotta ask yourself. Who is going to be the next guys? Gunther, Ilya, Carmelo, Braun Breaker, Trick
Mhm.
Williams. I mean, those five right there alone. At this point, I'll put Ethan Page over Aleister Black.
Yeah,
I
Ethan Page, instant heel heat.
Yeah, I will put
And it's an easy concept for a main roster audience to grasp too.
there's so many names that I think will be ahead of Malachi, where
Mhm.
Malachi comes in, win the Intercontinental Championship, Tag Team Championship, may go for the World Heavyweight Championship. You know what I mean? Um,
But you know what, Justin? That's better than what he had the last time.
that is true. That is true. I just don't want people to
Mhm.
get upset that he comes in like, oh my god, why is he not main eventing? Not
Rome,
everyone can main event. Everyone has a
no.
role. Everyone has
Yeah.
a role within the company, right? Do you think that, someone like I'm trying to think of somebody. I think like Odyssey Jones. Odyssey Jones, yes, I know
Oh my
he's
God.
you know he's like injured or whatever, but apparently they've been using him a lot for the recruitment of these NIL athletes. Him going out to these like universities and like the NXT Performance Center trials and stuff, and they have him there, as kind of like a recruiter in a way. He knows his role within the company. Not everyone has to be a fucking world champion or being on TV every week. If he's just somebody that is just there making a paycheck and they see him as an asset, so be it. Look at Gallus. Gallus right now, they were champions in NXT, right? But the biggest thing for Gallus and the thing that they're gonna hang their hat on, the biggest thing that no one's ever gonna talk about them in their career, the biggest thing that they're ever gonna be remembered for, or that they're gonna remember, I should say, is them training with the fucking Rock and bringing them back for WrestleMania 40.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they care about their position? They're being trusted to help The Rock get back in ring shape. I'm sure they can give two fucks about position and all that stuff. As long as you have a spot within the system, within the machine, that's all that matters. And back to Aleister Black, I think he wants to come back. He wants to be with his wife. That's
Mm-hmm.
number one. He wants to be with his wife, and he just wants to wrestle singles matches. Tony Khan's not giving him that opportunity, right? I'm sure Aleister Black will be fine, being a mid Carter, maybe getting a little, getting a little pushes here and there, right? And who knows, maybe he does win a world championship sometime down the line. Hell, Mark Henry won the world championship, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So Jinder Mahal won the world championship. So nothing's
Oh my
out of
God.
nothing's out of the realm of possibility. But what I'm saying is, do not expect him to come in here and be a main eventer. It's gonna be very, very hard. If he becomes a main eventer, it's great because I love him. So
Yeah, no, and Rome wasn't built in one night too.
Yeah.
People got to understand. Triple H is trying to work with a lot of different things too. He's
Right.
trying to work with call ups. He's trying to work with long term plans. And if some people don't factor into certain plans, then he has to try to do the best he can if they don't fit into an immediate plan. So I mean, Rome wasn't built in one night. People need to have some patience sometimes.
Yeah.
Some patience. After a whole full blown year, then you can lose patience. But like just a couple of months and a couple of jobs here and there, and doing what you can to help push other talents and not be rushed into the main event. Like it's not a bad spot to be in.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good ending point for tonight's show. We did close to 2.5 hours. Jesus. But again, much love, guys. Justin, as usual, you're the man. RJ, the
Hmm.
Brooklyn Savage. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Yeah. Once again, apologize for being late, Chad, Drew, Justin. Sorry, but
Oh no, man. No, I mean,
just
we had great conversations, so glad you came.
Yeah, I mean, we're just happy you came on. That's
yeah.
all that matters. And yeah, just you guys want to do your pluggy plugs? Whoever wants to start.
You can go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, you guys know me. Fucking Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Get your shirt. Help me. Just help me. Just help a brother out, man. Get a pro wrestling t-shirt, man. I don't ask for much, but good God. Just help a brother out. But anyway, Spinebuster Tees on Instagram. Follow me on there. And you'll see everything that I be posting. If you're ever in the San Antonio area, you can come visit Spinebuster Tees at the Wonderland of the Americas. Have very much of everything for a pro wrestling fan, of action figures, t-shirts, trading cards, um, Funko Pops, literally everything. And I've been getting a lot of really, really good stuff lately too as well. So come check me out. Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Get a damn t-shirt.
Get a damn t-shirt. That should be the tagline for the shop. Get a damn t-shirt.
Get a damn shirt.
RJ, go ahead, man.
Man, you can follow me on X at Lil RJ Unlimited, where I have no limits to what I say. So join me on Twitter or X. That podcast, obviously, the Brooklyn Power Trip Show with me and El Hermano Monty. Every Wednesday, we just did an episode earlier. They dropped it earlier. We had a new intro. That's some new intro music made. We got t-shirts and stuff like that as well being sold. So yeah, man, it's a good time to be. If you're a fan of what me and Monty do, then it's a good time to to really enjoy the ride because we got merch, got new stuff coming up. So yeah, it's a fun time. So join us. We're everywhere that you can find podcasts. So even the lower obscure apps that I didn't even know about, like what the hell is Podorama or whatever the fuck? Like what is that? So we're everywhere you can find podcasts. Join us. Raw and cut opinions. If you just hear a little sample of me and what I say on here, then you're gonna like what me and Monty do over there. And it's all love at the end of the day. But yeah, join us and let me know what you guys think. Let Monty know what you think, and that's it. And Drew, I do a show with Drew too. You hitting the mainstream line, baby, mainstream line. So yeah, like I said, it's all love, it's all fam over here. We all strive to do our best, and just join us, man.
Yep.
Join us, because we're definitely trying to make this thing worth everybody's while, not just our own, but for everybody that supports us and listens to us. So join us.
And then on a side note on our show, we got Deadpool Wolverine coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
So me and RJ are gonna cover that shit.
Absolutely.
I'll reserve my my thoughts, but yeah.
Oh, you saw it already?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but just from what have been seeing, I've seen that it hasn't been positive, but I'll check the movie out and judge it myself.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I've been hearing like nothing but good reviews.
I've been seeing. Well, it's been mixed. Honestly, it's been mixed, but I've seen some rough stuff about the movie, and I've seen like some like generic stuff, and it's like, oh, it's a good movie. But
I mean, the only bad reviews I heard were from like video game sites, and it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know, like Metacritic and IGN and GameSpot. It's like, okay, stick to video games. Stick
I
to video
seen
games,
I
guys.
seen one review that was like, it was nothing but a cameo fest. So, nah, but I mean, you have to reserve judgment and watch it for yourself because
right.
everybody enjoys a movie at a different pace. They enjoy different
Absolutely.
things when it comes to a movie. So you have to watch it for yourself. That's why I don't go by what other people say until I see it. You have to see what you see what you see for yourself because everybody gets something out of a movie and because we all have different tastes and preferences. So
Right.
that's the way I see it.
And then, of course, me and Ruben Prime will be covering that on our show Culture Attack.
Yeah, and the
Which
bakery will be open.
yes, sir. Me and Ruben, we attack the culture, whether
That's
it's
right.
music, movies, television shows, sometimes wrestling. Nobody's safe. We attack it. You
Yeah.
see it, we attack it. We don't care who you are. No one is safe from us. Nobody.
Advance, attack, annihilate, like Cross used to say.
Exactly. It's like if we see you walking down the street, we're gonna be like, "Hey, bitch, come here, come here, come here, come here."
God damn.
Nobody is safe.
Come here,
Nobody.
bitch.
Yeah.
That vanilla midget shirt goes hard, Justin. I
Oh,
love
the
that.
what?
The
Oh, the
vanilla
vanilla
midget.
midget. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
But I forgot I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. So yeah, next week, SummerSlam predictions, and then next Sunday, not Saturday because SummerSlam's on Saturday, but next Sunday, we will be doing a review show live, not just on Discord. We will also be live on YouTube. So we're gonna start streaming on YouTube. We already got the kinks worked out. Me and Justin. Jeff Lippman is penciled in as a guest.
Uh-oh, Uncle Jeff.
Um, more than likely he'll show up, but he pretty much said pencil me in as a yes. So we're not
Okay.
sure. He should be showing up. But yeah, we're gonna do the YouTube thing. So like I
Yeah, it took
mentioned,
us, how long? It took us like 2 hours to set up everything up?
2.5 hours. It
Yeah,
was like,
2 hours and
geez.
everything. Yeah.
But
Which
yeah,
is
also,
very short, by the way, because it took me like half a day to set up mine when I first started. So
but yes, sir, people. The future is now.
The future is now.
I'll say. But
Subscribe to the
anyways,
YouTube channel.
subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit like and subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. I'm always open to suggestions. Like I mentioned earlier, lately I've been taking little snippets from the show and uploading them on YouTube. Did a few, did one on Damian Priest, did one on not Joe Casey, Joe Hendry. Gonna do some more. Might do some interesting ones, especially with SummerSlam coming up. Might just maybe do match by match segments and upload them to YouTube. That'll be fun to do. So yeah, just doing more with the show. But
Yeah.
anyways, guys, I'm sorry.
No, I said no. Yeah, no. You gotta do what you gotta do to help build that notoriety and a name up, man. So that's smart. Definitely smart.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, we are done for the night. 2.5 hour show, and I'm gonna get started on editing this shiznit. But again, thank you to everybody. Shouts to everybody who's friends of the show, who supports us, all of our friends, um, their mothers, their daughters, whoever. And of course, our friends here, RJ and Justin, Ruben Prime, Jeff Lippman, Mish from Wrestling Soup, the boys over at Spitball Media, Andrew Carlick, Joe Numbers, Kevin Castle. Thank you guys. So, all right, we are done. We are finito. And we will see you next week for our SummerSlam prediction show. So, peace out.
peace.
Peace.